Hello and welcome to my training video. In this training video, you'll be learning how to incorporate Google Apps within your classroom. Google Apps are a great way to involve students, creating collaboration with peers or collaboration with the teacher, as well as class and class collaboration. Google Apps are also great for assessing your students, as well as collecting data. The apps that we are going to be using are Google Classroom, Google Slides, Google Sheets, Google Docs, and Google Forms. The first Google app that we are going to explore is Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a great way to have kind of like a virtual classroom. Here you can create as many classes as you would like. So if you're a teacher that has multiple classes, this is a great resource for you because you can have multiple classes with all your different students. Here you can see that I'm part of 4 classes, one being of my school. So it's also great for a whole staff. You guys can have a Google Classroom for yourselves where you house a lot of important information where you can find in one place. To create a class, you would click on this icon right here, the plus icon, and hit Create Class. So you would name your class. So I'm going to say Fantastic Owls. Maybe I should spell it correctly. And hit Create. As you can see, here is now my new class. If I wanted to go back and see all of my classes, you can see all of my classes here. And it shows the newest one first. So I created Fantastic Owls, so let's go in. Google Classroom is a great way for you to be able to create assignments for your students. And you can create these assignments using Google Docs, Google Forms, Google Slides, presentations. So the things that we do today could easily be added to your Google Classroom. It's a great way to house a lot of information. In order for your students to be able to access their Google Classroom, you would click on Students, and you have to invite them. There are 2 ways your students can become part of your classroom, and that's by invitation. You would type in name or email, press invite, or by class code. I like the class code a lot better because I can pull groups aside and have them log in, teaching them how to log in, and then using the code. And as students get added to your class, you will have a list show up here in this blank spot. I'm going to go back to the stream. So with Google Classroom, you can do announcements. You can create assignments, you can create posts, or you can reuse a post. On Google Classroom, you have a stream, and it kind of works like Facebook. So the most recent post will come up first. If you have a post that's further down your stream and you've realized not a lot of students have missed it, you can repost it and it will pop up at the top of your screen. And I'm going to show you that using one of my current classes. So let's say I scroll down and I have an assignment right here that I want to repost. So I would hover over my icon, scroll up to reuse post, find the one that I would like, and then click reuse, and then post. And if I scroll up, it has appeared as one of the first ones. To create an assignment, you can hover over your icon and hit create assignment, or you can go over to topics. Topics are a great way to organize your assignments or announcements because if it does get further down, you can easily tell a student, well, go to a specific topic and click on that topic, and the assignment can be there. If it's posted in the topic, it will automatically show up on your stream, so you do not have to worry about that. So let's say I wanted to do a math exit ticket. Click on math exit ticket topic, then hit create assignment. Let's say I wanted to do another show what you know. Here you can write instructions for your students to follow. If you want to be done a certain way, you can write the information below here. You can select due dates. You can also not have a due date. But to select a due date, you click there, then click the down arrow, and select the date you want it. So let's say I wanted it to be done September 22nd, so I click September 22nd. You can have a time, or you cannot, so you can X that out. If I wanted to attach a link, I would just click here and attach the link that I would like, and it would appear up at the bottom. So I've got everything I needed for my assignment. So now I want to make sure I have all students checked. So here is where you can make sure you have all students, or you can have it to where your students show up. It's a great way to differentiate, because if you have a student who you know cannot complete this assignment, you don't have to check their name, and the assignment won't come to them. So I'm all finished. So I'm going to hit assign, and then it will be assigned. A great way for a teacher to know if their student has done or not done the work is right here, because it tells you how many students that are done and not done. It can also help you keep track of students who are completing assignments and who are not. So if I were to go back to my class, the post that I just posted in my math exit ticket shows up on my screen. So you can post in the topics and it will show up on your screen. Another great tool that I'm going to show you is Google Slides or presentation. Google Presentation is a great way to have collaboration within your classroom, because a lot of students can get involved because it is a live document. So I had my students do life cycle projects, and here's an example of one of those life cycle projects. It was about a group of 5, and they all worked together to create this assignment. And so one would do a couple of slides, and you have another do a couple of slides. So it's a great way to keep everybody involved, so you don't have those students just sitting there twiddling their fingers because they, don't have anything to do, or, that student who feels like their voice isn't heard. Every student can be involved with this document. In order for every student to be involved, you would have one student to initiate the presentation, and then they would share it to the rest of their group members. So here you can click share, type in emails. Once those are done, you hit done. I also have the students share it to me, so I can keep track and keep progress of what they're doing. I can also comment, which also brings in great collaboration, because I can collaborate with the students without having to be in front of them. So if I want to leave a comment, I can click comment, add a comment, and say, great job. You can critique if you want. So if you feel like there needs to be improvement, you can type in the improvement that you want and press comment, and the comment will pop up. As you can see, it doesn't pop up on every slide. It only pops up on the slide that you have done. And as the students complete and look at your comments and correct the comments, you can hit resolved. And the great thing about it is, even though that they've resolved it and it doesn't show up, you can click in your comments again, and all the comments that were made are still there for you to see. So if you see that a student hit resolved and the correction wasn't made, you can easily make another comment and explain to them that the correction wasn't made. Another great collaboration tool that I like to use with my students is Google Docs, and I like to use it a lot with journal prompts because it's a way for students to, type out their ideas, and it's, a different way than writing in a journal with a pencil. They all are loving to type, so it keeps them engaged as well. So the students would be given a question, and they would have to respond to that question. And as you can see, this student had responded, but I have highlighted a section telling her that I need more details. So when you want to add a comment, you would highlight that of what you're commenting on, add comment. Great. So if you always wanted to give, a good comment and then a needs improvement comment, that works great too. So you can tell the student what they did good at and then what should be fixed. What I like about it again is you can resolve it once it has been fixed, and you can go back to your comments and see all of the comments that have been made. So once again, if you have a student who just hits resolve to be done and you go back and realize that it hasn't been changed, you can leave another comment saying, it needs to be changed, and then that student can go back and make those corrections. The next Google app we're going to work on is Google Forms. They're a great source for creating assessments or creating surveys or just getting feedback in general. I created a Google form for the beginning of the school year for handouts for parents. It was great because everything was housed on one document. The parents could get to it and they could fill out the information and have it. And the great part is you can see how many parents have responded. And with Google Forms, it can also translate into a Google Doc, which is also amazing. Into a Google Sheets, I apologize, which is also amazing. And here you can see that your questions show up at the top, and here are all the responses. So it's all housed in one area, and you don't have to keep multiple pages. So I'm going to quickly show you how you can create a document. You can easily use one that's already made, or you can create your own. So you can title it. You can say Parent Survey. And then you can ask your question. What is your child's favorite subject? So you create your question. You can do short answer questions, multiple choice, check boxes if you have more than one. So let's say I did a checkbox and I said recess. A lot of kids think recess is a subject. Math, science, and so on and so forth. So it's automatically there. In mine, you can see that I added sections, and to add a section, you would just click here and you can title your new section and your section will show up. To preview, you would hover over the eye and you can preview what your form looks like so far. And you can exit out. To make sure that your parents get to be able to work on this document, you have to hit add collaborators and then change it. And I always do anyone with the link because sometimes it can get a little tricky. So I haven't had a problem with using the anyone can use the link. So you'd hit save and hit done, and then anyone who has that link will be able to work on this document. So as you can see, here's a finished product with different, questions that I wanted to get from my parents. And then again, here is the spreadsheet that it came out on. So Google Forms and Google Sheets work really well together because you can assess and then you can collect the data. I really hope that you have enjoyed this learning session on the training on how to use Google apps in your classroom. Again, they are great for collaboration, cooperation, they're great for engagement, they're great for collecting data and assessing. So you have your Google Classroom, Slides, Docs, forms, and Google Sheets. So again, thank you, and I hope that you have enjoyed.